Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you to another enlightening episode of this program, Islam is Beautiful, a program that's designed to let you appreciate yourselves as Muslims and add value to you as an individual. My name is Salma Aditutulawal. Thank you for joining us.
Fortunate is he. Fortunate.
This program is sponsored in memory of Ajiya Fauziya Kende Lola Hali. May Allah grant her Alijan of Fidaus. Amen.
His thoughts of Allah and Judgment Day.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Today on the program we shall be discussing a topic, vanity. Vanity is a state of mind that makes you think that you're better than the other person. And to do this chit-chatting with me today, I have Sister Rama.
Somebody from Barakatuh.
Sister Mistura.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And Sister Khadija.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You're welcome, my sisters.
Thank you.
Like I said earlier, vanity is a problem. Islamically, a Muslim shouldn't be vain. So, what is vanity first? For those of us who do not know what this is. What is vanity, my sister?
Vanity is, you can call it ujub in Islam. It means when you attribute goodness to yourself. You attribute your achievements, your attainments to yourself, while you have at the back of your mind that it could be from Allah and He could actually collect it from you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah An-Nahl said, وَمَا بِكُمْ مِن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. Whatever blessings and whatever good that you have is from Allah. So, anybody that has that trait of thinking that I'm good and it was as a result of my efforts has that trait of being vain.
MashaAllah. That means if truly you're a Muslim who should submit totally to the will of Allah, it shouldn't even come up as a problem.
It should not, because even Allah is stating emphatically that He gives everything. Whatever good, whatever comes to you from good, bad, is from Allah.
So the moment you think that a result was as something that happened to you, good, is as a result of your own efforts, it is vanity. Starama, you have something to add to that?
Yeah, to add to what she said, I think it is due to arrogance when a creature believes he is the best among the peers, because even Allah said we are all equal before Him, and the most honored before Him is the most righteous. So when you see yourself because of worldly things that you have, sometimes it could even lead us astray. People like that. We could see story of Pharaoh and Nimrod. We know what ended them, because even Allah said in the Quran that someone that has a little bit of pride in his heart would not even smell the fragrance of Jannah. And we know what ended their story today. So I think I really go with the definition that she said.
Okay, Sister Khadija,
And to corroborate what my sisters have said, it said in the Holy Quran, chapter 12, Surah Al-Yusuf, that after every Lord of knowledge is one more knowledgeable. So I will get into yourself one feeling of pride over what you have or what Almighty Allah has provided for you. Does not really, it's meaningless, because whatever it is you have or claim you have, there's someone out there who has more than that. And the essence of having all this, as we always say, is for you to be able to use it judiciously for the cause of Allah. So by the time you start feeling that this is mine, and you start, Luqman told his son in Surah Al-Luqman chapter 31 verse 18 and 19 that you should not tread the floor as if you own it. You should not walk with so much arrogance or turn your face in a proud way, because all these things are just indications of vanity. At the end of the day, we go with nothing. No matter how much we believe we might have acquired.
May Allah make it easy for us. Now, vanity, from what you have explained, is a negative behavior. What are the causes? Why does it come up at all in a human's life?
Selfishness, so thinking of oneself and oneself alone. Because sometimes when you think, look at me, I own all this, it tends to bring out some traits that sometimes someone might not even know that it exists in one. But the moment you start thinking of what you own, who you are, maybe the way people respect you, you think this is all mine. And they're all blessings from Allah. And you should just see it as, you should be appreciative of it, rather than see it as something that is yours. You should just be grateful to Almighty Allah and show signs of gratitude.
Going out of the fold of Islam now, ujub can be related to an attribute, a characteristic, and a human behavior known as narcissism. A narcissist is a person that believes that he's always right. He makes people feel bad. He has ways of making them emotionally down. And you can relate that to Uju, because for you to think that you're always right, that means if something happens, you always look for someone to blame. You blame everybody for things that happen to you that were even wrong about. So it's a kind of human trait that people have to look out for. That am I that kind of person? And it comes out, it starts from you being arrogant, as in attributing goodness to yourself. If anything happens to you, first and foremost, you thank Allah, being grateful all the time.
Whether we see it as good or
Whether
bad.
you see, because it
Because
could
we
be
are
worse.
the ones that are seeing it as bad anyway.
Yes.
Allah never does anything bad.
Yes.
Anything that happens is for our own good.
Yes.
Something worse could have happened.
Yes,
in
it
the
could be
place.
worse.
Yeah, I think it begins from maybe when Allah lifts you up in some aspect of life, your status in the society, your position, and the way people say, wow, is this you? You are wealthy, you're rich, and some people let it enter them. And they begin to feel like, oh, do you know what I did to get to the status? Do you know what I've done? Do you know how I did this and all that? They actually forget that Allah has brought them that far. And I tell people, like, when you feel like you're going high in the society, your status is becoming high, you're getting better, it is now the time for you to move close to Allah. Move close to Him, so it would help you not to feel so important, help you not to let the pride enter you, so you won't see yourself. Let people appreciate you. When they appreciate you, tell them it's by Allah, not by my power. I think that is one of the ways we could manage, but it starts from when people start appreciating you, telling you you've gone far in life.
When people start appreciating you,
just tell them it is by Allah, not by my power.
But being truly happy about the blessings of Allah is not vanity.
It's not vanity.
It's not Ujub.
Okay.
And if Allah blesses you with anything, you could be happy. You could show gratitude. You could truly rejoice. But one thing remains, because innamal a'malu binniyat, our actions will be judged by our intentions. Are you truly happy because you feel that Allah has blessed you? Or you're happy because you think, yes, I've arrived. I got there by my efforts.
But I've listened to a motivational speaker once say it that success is such that if you go to a successful person and you start living, as in remove religion now, start living the way the person lives, wake up at the time the person wakes up, do exactly what the person did, you will be successful too. Now, if that kind of person does that thing and he attains success, really, that person can say that he's self-made. Let's talk realistically now.
That is,
it is very dangerous
wrong.
It's wrong.
Oh, yes, it's very wrong.
It is even very dangerous. You don't walk on the thin line between sin and non-sinning. You should never, as a Muslim, attribute anything to yourself. What are you? What could you do without Allah? To me, I believe even telling yourself that you're self-made, you started committing shirk because you are removing Allah. You are removing
You're
Him.
associating yourself.
Yes,
That is exactly what they're doing these days. They no, the days of Pharaoh, their pride was. Today, their own pride is in themselves. They feel they're king gods to them. You know, even when they're in their homes, the way they walk around, the way they express themselves to their subordinates or their siblings, you just wonder that where is all this from? This is vanity.
And you know the dangerous thing about Uju, you don't have to consider anybody. It doesn't matter whether you consider people inferior or not. A person will do Uju whether he looks at people as lower than him or not, as long as he thinks himself.
Those are higher than them.
You know, like you say a person is proud if he looks down on other people. For you to be practicing vanity, you don't have to look at other people. As long as you believe that your achievements are as a result of your efforts, you've gone astray.
Mashallah. Now, as a Muslim, what are the things that one must do to ensure that one does not get to that level? Because sometimes it's human to want to think, I woke up, I burned night candles, I know what I did. Sometimes I walk from here all the way to Lagos to ensure that these things get done. And so, you may in your bid to recount what you went through to achieve a success, you may become vain without knowing. So as a Muslim, what are the things to do at every stage to curb vanity?
Someone asked one of the companions of the Prophet, how could you cure Ujub? And he says, 1, remember what you genuinely are. Your reality is nothingness. You are nothing. If you die today, you become nothing. And what is your end? Your end is that you'll be judged based on what you did in this world. So if you know that you're
Which
nothing,
would have been something.
Yeah. So if you know that you're nothing in this world, so why would you take everything on your head? And then the major thing is to always do tazkiyah. Purify yourself. Kunuma Sodiki, move with the righteous. I always remember, Ogweni, you're going astray. You stay with people that will always. We can't do Islam in isolation. All these traits are traits that you possess as an individual, and you might not know that you're doing these things.
But Islam should actually curb them.
Yeah, so if you have people around you that are actually knowledgeable too, and can actually point it out, those are not people that will tell you, let's go and party, let's go and club. Those are not the kind of people you need around you. You need somebody that will always, you will go astray, but somebody that will always guide you back to your thing.
All right.
Someone said, it was trying to illustrate how it would be like for that kind of a person on the day of Yom Kippur. Like if the person can just remember this, maybe to guide the person through that. The wealth, if you have the wealth, you feel like you're the one that made it yourself, you're superior and every other thing, that the wealth would look like a snake. It would be tied around your neck, a very big black snake, and it would tell you, I'm your wealth, I'm your wealth, I'm your wealth. And they said the pain you go through on that day, if you can remember that alone, like Allah looks at you like, oh, you were actually battling with me, telling me that you and I were on the same plane in the world. Then let's see, like if you can remember death and you remember the day of Yom Kippur,
always remind
the
yourself
judgment,
of those things.
like with that, you will always control yourself. When you see you're going far, you tell yourself, dust is what we end up to be. So why do we have to go back?
It is said in Surah Al-Sajdah that Allah made this creation from the quintessence of a fluid despised. When you realize what you were made for, when you know fluid despised, you just look at yourself and tell yourself, if God can in His infinite mercy now put me on this certain level, let me just show Him gratitude. Let me just appreciate Him by, as best as I can, by lowering myself to those even that are below me and those that are way above me. Let me just know that truly, after every Lord of knowledge, there is one more knowledgeable. So even if I decide to arrogate anything to myself, I should remember that right next door, there might be someone that is even way above me.
Yeah. Yes. And another way is to always look at those behind you. When you look at those behind you, then you appreciate the blessings of Allah. If you continue looking at those in front of you, then you continue to aspire for this world. You continue to struggle for this world, and then when you get it now, attribute it to yourself. But when you look at those behind you, you always thank Allah. You know that it's just a privilege. Like we said now in the world today, so many people are hungry, and then you've been privileged, you've been given things that other people could have been given, but Allah has given it to you. The only thing you should do is to be thankful, genuinely.
MashaAllah. Self-confidence is something that we encourage everyone to have.
Yes.
Because in the present world today, if you're not confident about whatever it is you're selling or you believe in, even Islam that we're preaching, if you're not confident about what you know, people will destabilize you on time. They will just tell you one thing and you will get destabilized. So now, if there's a thin line between self-confidence and vanity, how can one help oneself?
I said it earlier. It's just about your intention. First, my self-confidence, what am I using it for? Allah has created I have not created man and jinn for anything except to worship me. So if everything we do, we turn it into an act of worship.
To add to what you said, in the world of today, when we go out there, people would say a lot of, when they say you're a Muslim, they start this negative talks about Muslim, and they want you to feel inferior, they want you to feel like, but if you have the self-confidence, no matter what they say, you will still stand up and say, I am a Muslim. I am a Muslim, I'm proud of my religion. That is it. But pride is when they are talking and you're like, what do you know about Islam? What can you say about Islam? And you're saying it and you know that you're actually
saying, like you're convincing them.
You're even complicating issues and you're saying it like seriously. That is pride. But when they say anything, no matter what they say, if you can't give them reply, if you don't know the reply to say, just say, I'm a Muslim, alhamdulillah, then walk away from them. Negative people, when you're with them, you can't get a positive result. Yes. That's what I just believe.
MashaAllah. May Allah make it easy for us. We take a break now to take other segments of the program.
On this episode of the program, we shall be recommending to you this 475-page book titled Don't Be Sad, written by Ahid Ibn Abdullah Al-Qarni. Don't Be Sad is an important book for all. It is full of practical advice on how to repel despair and replace it with a pragmatic and ultimately satisfying Islamic outlook on life. It exposes to the modern reader how Islam teaches us to deal with the tests and tribulations of this world. At a time in which the Muslims are beset with trials from every corner and within, comes this heartening book, rooted in the commandments of Allah, the Sunnah, and the excellent guidance and examples of the Muslims that came before us. This book contains verses of the Quran, sayings of the prophets, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and of his companions, as well as of the wise. This book is a culmination of deep and organized thoughts, saying to you, be happy, be at peace, be joyful, hold firmly onto the rope of Allah, and don't be sad. Take this book today, read and add value to your life. Remember, readers are leaders.
Look around yourself, can't you see this wonder spread in front of you? The clouds floating by, the sky so clear and blue, planets in their orbits, the moon and the sun, such perfect harmony. Let's start questioning ourselves. Isn't this proof enough for us? Or are we so blind to push it all aside? No, we just have to open our eyes, our hearts and minds. If we just look right, we'll see the signs. We can't keep hiding from the truth and let it take us by surprise. Protect us in the best way, guide us every single day, keep us close to you until the end of time. Look inside yourself, such perfect order, hiding in your cells, running in your veins. What about anger, love and pain, and all the things you're feeling? Can you touch them with your hand? So are they really there? Let's start questioning ourselves. Isn't this proof enough for us? Or are we so blind to push it all aside? No, we just have to open our eyes, our hearts and minds. If we just look right, we'll see the signs. We can't keep hiding from the truth and let it take us by surprise. Protect us in the best way, guide us every single day, keep us close to you until the end of time. When a baby's born, so helpless and weak, and you're watching it growing, so why deny what's in front of your eyes? The biggest miracle of life. We just have to open our eyes, our hearts and minds. If we just look right, we'll see the signs. We can't keep hiding from the truth and let it take us by surprise. Protect us in the best way, guide us every single day, keep us close to you until the end of time.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. You're welcome back, my sisters. We have said a lot about vanity. Now, in the present world today, people associate a lot to qualifications, acquisitions, and all of that, so that even to get married, you will hear families ask, what have you attained? What have you achieved? Now, how do you do it? That yes, inamal amanu bin niya, but that person that is saying, that Muslim on the panel of the interview, that you're saying, okay, I have a degree in biochemistry, I have a second degree, I have a third degree, and you're saying all of those, and how that moment, if the next instant is your death time, how would that not count for you as being vain?
So all those qualifications, they are your achievements, which Almighty Allah has bequeathed on you.
Okay.
Yeah, has bequeathed on you, and they're not things you didn't set out to come there to reel out your degrees so that you want other people to envy you. You didn't come out there to tell them all this so that they'll feel to exhibit pride. You're there for a job, and regardless of whatever, you must let them know what you have before they can even appreciate you.
I purposely asked that question because the lady was told at the interview that you sound very vain because you have all of these degrees. So one of the women on the panel told her, and so get out of this place. And so she was beginning to ask herself, how did I sound vain? I just wanted to convince them that. So how do you manage that part? How do we teach people to know how to draw the line?
If you want to eliminate the traits of arrogance or vanity in what you're saying, when you get there too, you'll go with humility. You won't get there and start saying.
I think humility is peculiar to the person. Somebody who came in for an interview, a very long room, and the moment he stepped inside, he was in the middle of the room. They said, "Get out." Now, get out. What is he supposed to do? He has done he has done some stages of the interview. That's supposed to be last stage, and these are people, the authority, the management of the organization, and they say get out. The best he can. What do you think he should do? The man was already, he turned to leave, but he turned and faced them and said, "Well, what have I done? This is the first stage. This is the last stage of the interview. I've done the written. I've done the oral. This is the last part. In fact, I have been longing to meet all of you, and now you're telling me to get out. So what have I done?"
Turning back to say that might be, some might say it's being vain, but I think he did the right thing.
I think he was just confident. Yeah.
You think he was?
Yes.
Anyway, they told him, you get the job.
Yes, he did the right
They gave him the job. Now, what I want us to bring out of that is, he could have said it that, but why should I go out? Do you know how long I have done, what I have gone through to do this interview? Because he would think at that stage, the worst is that I won't get the job. So let me insult them in my own way, So he handled it well by telling them, this is my life. He told them all that he has done in a very humble manner, and told them and appreciated them by telling them that, in fact, you are one of the set of people that I have always longed to meet, and they gave him the job. But, he's not everybody. I can imagine if he was a Muslim sister, she would just start crying. And you would have just started crying.
I think all what you're talking about is just the human factor to it.
Okay.
It's just your personality. The way some people talk, somebody like me, you talk with that energy. It's not as if you mean it. That's the way you talk.
Aggression
so
sometimes.
yes, with aggression sometimes. So it's not as if it really has to do with your personality. And I know my Lord, Allah is merciful. He's not going to judge us based on that because He knows how He created us.
He won't judge us,
Allah
but
will go
situations
deeper.
will judge us. If that person doesn't get that job, goes for another interview, doesn't get that job,
And
don't
then
you
he
think
has to work on his personality.
On his
That's why
presentation.
Yes,
his
that's what I
approach,
see. Yes. He has to work on his attitude.
If
He
his
has to-
aggression, one would reduce
Yes.
it and be more subtle.
Yeah.
All right, may Allah make it easy for us. Okay, in one sentence, let us tell our fellow Muslims out there how we can help not being vain. What are the things to do? We can fall into that situation any time of our lives. How do we help ourselves and how do we help others?
I think self-control is very important.
Okay.
And someone said something sometimes said, there's this common saying that the empty barrel makes the loudest noise. And the man said, when you throw a coin on the floor and you throw 1,000 naira note on the floor, the coin makes the loudest noise. Like when you're so proud, the noise the coin is making, the coin is not valuable, not so valuable. That's the same way you look in front of Allah. So he said, Allah loves not the arrogant. So we should always remember this, like, dust is all we hand. The same graveyard I would sleep is the same graveyard the richest man in the world would sleep. So why do we have to be so particular about things? If Allah gives you something, appreciate Him, appreciate Allah, spend in the cause of Allah, and remember that dust is just the end of everything. May Allah guide us right, inshallah.
I think one of the ways we can curb it is to always ponder over your nothingness. What is your end? When you die today, all the certificates, all the whatever, you won't take it anywhere. So ponder over your nothingness and ponder over the mightiness of Allah. Look at his creations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that there are signs everywhere for those who can see, for those who can comprehend. So every day, in every situation, something happens, and if you have that insight, you will always see the presence of Allah in it. So when you always have it at the back of your mind that Allah, that is why sometimes they ask that most of us will say Allahu Akbar. Do we actually mean it? Do we actually know the meaning?
Or we are saying it and thinking we want
Just
to go and
because
see somebody
that's
down.
what you
So when you pray, and we pray every day, we pray 5 times a day. How many times do we say Allahu Akbar every day? So if you actually mean it, if you actually know the meaning and you act on it, you would not find yourself in that kind of situation.
The Quran Surah Al-Sajda again, there's a verse that they say, what one will lie hidden and lost in the heart? Shall we indeed be in a creation renewed? And that is man asking if indeed we'll be raised up after we're dead. All we're doing on earth, we are just here for a mission and it's a phase, it's for time. At the end of the day, whatever it is we do, it's all 6 feet. We'll all live at a point in time. Let us try as much as possible to live in harmony with everybody. Try as much as possible to do your best at any point in time. Don't sadden anybody by what you are doing, by whatever Allah has blessed you with, making other people uncomfortable and sad about their own situation. If you can impart and touch their lives, please go ahead and do it.
Mashallah. Well, being Muslim is total submission to the will of Allah, so that whatever we have been bestowed with as Muslims on earth, given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. So we must make sure that we do not share this attribute with Allah, because He seeks assistance from no one. Everything and everyone seeks assistance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So vanity shouldn't be part of a Muslim. If you have it as a trait, drop it now. Move with people of like minds, people who would change that habit, people who are Muslim enough to tell you the truth, and that way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also help you, because heaven help those who help themselves is the saying that we hear. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to be good Muslims, better Muslims, so that on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah we will all say salam salam to ourselves. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. From my sisters and I, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Fortunate is he. Fortunate.
This program is sponsored in memory of Ajia Fauziya Kende Lola Hali. May Allah grant her Alijan Fidaus. Amin.
His thoughts of Allah and Judgment Day.